Okay, what if you just stumbled upon a note? But not just any note, one that was written specifically for you, by you, and you found it at the exact moment you needed it most. That's really what we're looking at here. I want you to think of this as a message you left for yourself, a little reminder about the game you're playing.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling of just running into these invisible walls, of not quite getting the point of it all. It can make you feel, well, stuck, limited, kind of like you're trying to solve a puzzle, but you're sure you're missing some of the pieces.
But here's the twist. What if those limitations, those rules you keep bumping up against, what if they aren't external at all? What if you're the one who actually wrote them? And what if this is the note you left yourself, just so you'd remember? All right, so let's open this thing up. Let's start this little journey of remembering something really fundamental, something you've actually known all along, but maybe, just maybe, you forgot for a little while. And right away, the note starts with this real kindness. No judgment, no blame. It just says, hey, you forgot again. And that's okay, because forgetting is actually a necessary part of the whole experience. It's what sets up the absolute joy of remembering. So if you feel lost, you're not failing. You're right on track. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of it. The one big idea that once you really get it, it changes the entire perspective of the game you're in. Just let that sink in for a second. No boundaries, no real separation between you and this or this and that. That entire idea of an edge, a limit, that's the illusion we're here to unpack. So think about it. How do you even experience yourself as an individual? How do you feel here? Well, the note reminds you that you did it by creating a contrast. You had to pretend there was a there to feel a here. You literally defined yourself by drawing a line around what you considered you. And that's the thing, right? These boundaries weren't forced on you. It was a creative act. You, this infinite consciousness, wanted to know what it felt like to be finite. So you drew the lines yourself, just to make the whole game more vivid, more interesting. Okay, so if these limitations are something we put on ourselves, you gotta ask, why? What's the point? Why would we ever choose to feel constrained? Well, the note explains that it's not a punishment. It's something else entirely. Now, this is a real game changer. Limitation isn't a cage that's holding you back. It's a tool, an instrument you are actively using for creation. It's the pressure that forms a diamond or the resistance that builds a muscle. It's how you become what you're becoming. And the note gives us this absolutely perfect metaphor. A caterpillar in a chrysalis. Yeah, it might look trapped. It's confined. But we know that enclosure is precisely what allows it to transform into a butterfly. That feeling of being stuck, it's actually the process of your own emergence. So this is the fundamental shift in perspective we're talking about. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You are an active participant in a game of your very own design. And that feeling of being stuck, it's just you, deeply immersed in the current level of the game. So the note goes on, and it gives us these almost like cosmic bullet points, a few key reminders, just designed to jog your memory about the true nature of things. Let's just quickly go through these because they're huge. First, infinity is the only real possibility. Then, love isn't about bridging some gap. It's realizing there never was one. Triumph isn't something you have to struggle for. It's your natural state. It's what you relax back into. And mistakes? They don't exist. There are only experiences to be had. And here's the crazy part, the mechanism behind the whole illusion. It's a self-fulfilling loop. The fear of being trapped is the very crayon that draws the walls of the cage. The fear comes first, and then it creates the evidence to justify itself. But the note reminds you, you can just put the crayon down. All right, this brings us to the final and honestly the most profound part of the note. This is about the very nature of what you are. This is the great remembering. We've all heard that classic line. It suggests we're this small, distinct part of a much larger whole. But the note says, that's not quite right. Okay, so then there's the other version, that the whole entire ocean is contained within you, the tiny drop. And that's a beautiful idea for sure, but the note pushes us even further. And there it is, the shift. You aren't a thing, static and defined, whether it's big or small. You are a process.
a dynamic, unfolding, continuous action. Think about it. You're not a static being. You are the process of being. You aren't a person who loves. You are the action of loving. This changes everything, doesn't it? An action can't be contained. A process has no edges. So, the note leaves you with these three final, powerful truths. The first one, any sense of limitation you ever felt was just part of the game. It was a tool you were using, not a reality that ever defined you. The second one is this. The lines you drew were always temporary. They created the experience of other and me, but your fundamental nature is and always has been one of seamless, total connection. And finally, maybe the most comforting one of all, that whole search for home, that longing to get back to something, that was just the goal of the game. In reality, you are never not home. You have always been and always will be right here. And that's where the note ends, with just a simple question. It's not a demand, it's not a command, it's just an invitation. The power to continue the game, or to remember its true nature, well, that's always been yours.